Before you even think about booking your next flight, stop. Airports in 2025 is not what you remember, and the new rules are catching travelers off guard every single day. We're talking unexpected security checks, surprise bag bans, and gate policies so strict that even frequent flyers are getting stopped. One tiny mistake could get your boarding pass canceled on the spot. So before you pack a single thing, watch this. Because these are the new airport rules no one is warning you about. And trust me, you can't afford to learn them the hard way. Part 1. Security Crackdown. You weren't warned about. Picture this. You're at the airport, feeling calm, carry-on in hand, thinking you've got security down to a science. Shoes off? Check. Laptop out? Easy. But then, your bag suddenly gets pulled aside. A red light flashes. An officer waves you over. Welcome to airport security in 2025, where the old X-ray scanners are being replaced by new 3D CT scanners that see everything inside your bag from every angle. And here's the twist. They're not just looking for knives or liquids anymore. Power banks, smart luggage, even your phone charger can now trigger a manual inspection. Travelers who thought they were flying through are getting stuck in hour-long screenings, missing flights and paying rebooking fees, all because of one random scan. The scariest part? It's completely unpredictable. You can follow every rule and still get flagged. So if you want to survive this new system, arrive earlier than you ever have before. Because these scanners don't care how close boarding time is, they only care about catching what you don't even know you packed. Part 2. The liquid rule. Just got a shocking twist. Remember that classic rule? No liquids over 100 milli. The one we have all memorized like it's the law of gravity. Well, in 2025, that rule is quietly being rewritten at select airports, and it's causing massive chaos for travelers who didn't get the memo. With the new 3D CT scanners, some airports now allow full-size toiletries, while others still confiscate them on site. Imagine this. You see someone breeze through security with a giant bottle of shampoo, so you try it too, only for a stern officer to yank it out of your bag, toss it in the trash, and send you to secondary screening. And just like that, you're delayed, flustered, and maybe even missing your gate. The worst part? There is no official list showing which airports follow the old rule and which follow the new one. It's completely random. So if you don't want to gamble with your flight, pack like it's still 2010, under 100 ml, in a clear bag. Because until the entire world switches over, this rule is a trap waiting to ruin your trip. Part 3. Hidden tech that's getting travelers pulled aside. Here's what almost no one realizes. Security in 2025 isn't just scanning for weapons. It's scanning for electronics it doesn't trust. That old power bank buried at the bottom of your bag? That vintage DSLR camera battery you forgot was even in there? Those can now trigger an instant red alert on the new scanners. Why? Because the 3D CT systems detect battery density, internal wiring, and heat signatures, things older gadgets often fail at. Travelers are being stopped for carrying smart luggage, Bluetooth trackers, and even electric toothbrushes because their lithium cells confuse the system. You could be totally innocent and still be treated like a security threat. One traveler said they watched agents dump out their entire carry-on, swab every device for explosives, and barely make it to the gate before it closed. If you want to avoid that nightmare, remove batteries from older electronics, keep power banks visible, and charge everything fully. Dead devices raise even more suspicion now. Part 4. The new ID crackdown. No one's talking about you think your boarding pass and passport are enough. In 2025, they're not. Security lines across the world are quietly rolling out biometric ID checkpoints, facial scans, fingerprint readers, and digital identity gates. And here is the scary part. If the system can match your face to your documents within seconds, you're instantly flagged and pulled out of line. Even perfectly valid passports are getting travelers stopped because of things as small as new hairstyles, glasses, or beards that confuse the scanner. One woman was held for over 40 minutes because her face scan didn't match the photo from her last trip just because she dyed her hair. And if your phone battery dies before showing your digital boarding pass or ID, they can legally deny you entry to the gate. So before you even leave home, update your passport photo, keep your face visible at checkpoints, and carry printed copies of everything. Because one tiny mismatch could make you miss your flight and cost you hundreds to rebook. Part 5. The Rise of Random Secondary Screenings. Here is the part that's driving even frequent flyers crazy. You can now do everything right and still get stopped. In 2025, security agencies have quietly boosted the number of random secondary screenings, and they don't have to give you a reason. It is not about what you packed. It is about behavioral flags the system thinks it sees. Maybe you looked nervous. Maybe you walked too fast. Maybe the AI camera saw you glance at your phone one too many times. Suddenly your name flashes on a screen, and an officer pulls you aside with zero explanation. Travelers have been forced to unwrap luggage, answer invasive questions, and miss their flights, all without being accused of any rule breaking. It's pure chance, and it's terrifying. So don't give the system any reason to doubt you. Move calmly, follow instructions, and keep your phone tucked away. Because in 2025, the smallest gesture could trigger a full-blown search. Part 6. Carry-on weight crackdowns are catching everyone. You made it through security and think you're safe, but the real trap might be waiting at the gate. In 2025, airlines have quietly started doing last-minute weigh-ins of carry-on bags right before boarding. And it's catching even experienced travelers completely off guard. Here's how it works. The gate agent suddenly calls random passengers over, plops their bag on a scale, and if it's just a single kilo over the limit, you're forced to pay massive fees or check it in on the spot. Some people have had to leave belongings behind just to be allowed to board. One man was told to pay over $150 just because his carry-on was slightly heavier after duty-free shopping. The worst part? They waited until boarding time, when he had no choice but to pay. So don't risk it. Weigh your bag at home, leave extra space, and never assume they won't check. Because in 2025, your bag might be the reason you miss your flight. Part 7. Gate closures are now brutally strict. In the past, boarding gates used to give you a little grace, a 5-minute wait, a last call over the speakers. But in 2025, that mercy is gone. Airlines are under new pressure to keep on-time records spotless, and that means gates are now closing exactly on the dot. No exceptions. Even if you're just 60 seconds late, you could be standing right outside the gate door, and they'll still refuse to open it. Travelers are missing flights after clearing security and running full speed across the terminal, only to find the gate sealed shut, agents gone and their luggage flying away without them. And here's the painful part. If you miss boarding, you lose your ticket entirely. No refund, no credit, nothing. So forget cutting it close. Be at the gate at least 45 minutes before departure, even if boarding hasn't started. Because in 2025, one delayed coffee stop can cost you your entire trip. Part 8. Duty-free bags can get you stopped. You'd think once you've passed security, you're safe, right? But in 2025, even duty-free items can get you pulled aside, and most travelers don't see it coming. Airports have quietly started cracking down on liquid purchases from other countries' duty-free shops. If your connecting flight goes through a country with stricter security, that sealed duty-free bag of perfume, liquor, or skincare can get confiscated right at the checkpoint, even if it's never been opened. And here's the nightmare. Once they take it, there's no refund, no appeal, just gone. Travelers are watching $300 bottles of whiskey and luxury makeup vanish in seconds. The rule is simple but brutal. If your journey has a connecting flight, always check the airport security rules at every stop or buy duty-free only at your last airport. Because in 2025, even a fancy shopping bag can get you flagged like a threat. Part 9. TSA's Hidden Random Tech Scans. Think you've cleared security just because your bag made it through the X-ray? Think again. In 2025, TSA has quietly rolled out a system of invisible secondary scans that most passengers don't even notice. As you walk through the terminal, hidden sensors in the floor, ceiling, and even near boarding gates are silently sniffing for trace explosives, scanning for radiation, and flagging unusual movement patterns. You could be halfway to your gate when a silent alert pings on a security officer's tablet, and suddenly you are being pulled aside, searched, and questioned without ever knowing what triggered it. The creepiest part? These scans don't need your permission, and they never tell you they're happening. It's all about catching threats before they reach the plane. But for ordinary travelers, it can feel like walking through an invisible trap. So if you were randomly stopped after security and can figure out why, now you know, it wasn't random at all. Part 10, TSA's Secret Passenger Blacklist. You might think you're just another face in the crowd, but the TSA might already have a file on you. In 2025, security agencies maintain a quiet watch list of travelers who've triggered red flags. Maybe you argued with staff, left a suspicious item behind once, or even just matched a vague profile in their system. And the scariest part? They don't have to tell you you're on it. These flagged travelers often get extra bag swabs, intense pat-downs, longer interviews, and more random searches. Every single trip. It's not about what you did today. It's about what the system remembers about you from years ago. Some passengers only find out when they start getting stopped every time they fly, like a shadow following them through every airport. So if security keeps pulling you aside and you can't figure out why, you might already be on the list. And once you're on it, getting off isn't easy. Part 11. Airport scanners are saving your data. Every time you walk through those full-body scanners, you probably think it's just a quick safety check. But what if it isn't? In 2025, many airports have quietly upgraded to next-gen biometric scanners that don't just scan for weapons. They record your body shape, face geometry, and movement patterns into massive security databases. The official line? It's for safety. The hidden truth? That data can be stored for years, shared with other agencies, and even analyzed by AI to track your behavior. Most travelers never realize that a digital version of their body might be sitting in a government archive long after their vacation is over. So while you're rushing through the checkpoint thinking it's just another scan, your digital fingerprint could be quietly joining a secret airport database you never agreed to. Part 12. Airlines are tracking your every move. You think you're just killing time before your flight, grabbing a coffee, browsing duty-free, scrolling your phone. But in 2025, airlines and airports have quietly started tracking nearly everything you do the moment you walk in. From your Wi-Fi pings, credit card swipes, boarding pass scans, even how long you stand in front of a store window, all of it gets fed into massive behavior databases. The goal? To build a personal profile on you. What you buy, what time you arrive, how often you complain, how fast you walk. This data then predicts if you'll spend more, miss your gate, or cause delays. And airlines can use it to prioritize or quietly sideline you. So while you think you're just another traveler in the crowd, you're actually being scored, tracked, and sorted, like data on a screen. And the creepiest part? You never gave them permission. Part 13. Facial recognition is watching you everywhere. You walk through the terminal thinking you're anonymous, but the airport already knows exactly who you are. In 2025, hundreds of major airports have installed covert facial recognition cameras hidden in boarding gates, hallways, even ceiling vents, quietly scanning every face that passes by. The moment you check in, your photo from your passport or driver's license is uploaded, and those cameras start tracking you, from security to the shops to your gate. You won't see a flash, you won't hear a beep, but the system logs every stop, every movement, and can even alert security if you deviate from your predicted path. So while you're rushing to catch your flight, the airport's AI is silently following your every step like an invisible shadow. And most travelers have no idea they're being watched this closely. So now you know, even the tiniest thing in your bag could get you stopped by TSA in 2025, and most travelers don't even see it coming. But here's the scary part. What happens after you clear security is even more shocking, because airlines have quietly changed their rules, and millions of passengers are being caught off guard. Before your next flight, watch our next video. TSA will stop you for this in 2025. Even frequent flyers are shocked. It might just save your trip and your wallet.